Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the recent escalation in violence in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories is deeply concerning. It is the worst violence seen there for several years. As the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary have made clear, this cycle of violence must stop and every effort must be made to avoid the loss of life, especially that of children. The UK offers our deepest condolences to the families of those civilians killed. Civilian deaths, both in Israel and Gaza, are a tragedy. We urge all sides to refrain from any kind of provocation so that calm is restored as quickly as possible. As we enter the final days of the holy month of Ramadan, restoration of peace and security is in everyone's interest. The UK will continue to support that goal. The UK unequivocally condemns the firing of rockets at Jerusalem and other locations in Israel. We strongly condemn these acts of terrorism from Hamas and other terrorist groups, who must permanently end their incitement and rocket fire against Israel. There is no justification for any targeting of civilians. Israel has a legitimate right to self-defense and to defend the citizens from attack. In doing so, it is vital that all actions are proportionate, in line with international humanitarian law, and make every effort to avoid civilian casualties. Violence against peaceful worshippers of any faith is unacceptable. The UK has been clear that the attacks on worshippers must stop. The status quo in Jerusalem is important at all times, but especially so during religious festivals, such as Ramadan. Our priority now must be an immediate de-escalation on all sides and an end to civilian deaths. As I made clear over the weekend, we are concerned about tensions in Jerusalem linked to threatened evictions of Palestinian families from their homes in Sheikh Jarrah. That threat is allayed for now, but we urge Israel to cease such actions, which in most cases are contrary to international humanitarian law. The UK continues to support international efforts to reduce the tension. The Foreign Secretary delivered a message of de-escalation in a call to the Israeli Foreign Minister yesterday and will speak to the Palestinian Prime Minister shortly. I have spoken to the Israeli Ambassador and the Palestinian Head of Mission in the UK to urge them to de-escalate and to restore calm. The UK is also engaged at the UN Security Council, calling for all sides to make measures to reduce further violence and making clear our deep concern at the violence at the holy sites in Jerusalem. I am sure the Security Council will continue to monitor the situation closely and is due to reconvene. UK embassies throughout the Middle East are engaging with regional partners, and we remain in close contact with the US administration and our European allies. The situation on the ground over the last few days demonstrates the urgent need to make progress towards peace. The UK remains committed to a two-state solution as the best way to bring peace and stability to the region. I repeat again, we urge all sides to show maximum restraint and refrain from taking actions which endanger civilians and make a sustainable peace more difficult.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ibrahim al-Masri, 11. Marwan al-Masri, 6. Rahaf al-Masri, 10. And Yazan al-Masri, aged just 2. These are some of the names of the children killed this week, and last night an Israeli child was added to their numbers. My heart breaks for them. And Mr. Speaker, my heart bleeds for Palestine, for Jerusalem, the city of my family, for the worshippers attacked by extremists at the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the holiest night of Ramadan, and for all innocent civilians, Israeli and Palestinian. We cannot allow this to escalate any further. The Israeli government, pursuing evictions in Sheikh Jarrah that would be illegal under international humanitarian law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention, and the subsequent overly aggressive reaction of the Israeli authorities that injured hundreds, has ignited a tinderbox. And Hamas then retaliated, and those strikes must be condemned too, because violence only begets more violence. The UN Special Envoy last night warned that the situation is escalating towards a full-scale war. The minister will know that he does not say such words lightly, and he refers not just to Israel-Palestine, but indeed the entire region. So my questions to the Minister are these. Will the UK back Security Council resolutions condemning these attacks, regardless of what the US does? And should that fail, will the Minister work with international partners like the European Union to issue a statement on de-escalation in the strongest possible terms today, now? What steps is the UK taking to stop the attempted illegal evictions in Sheikh Jarrah? And will the government commit to supporting a new round of peace negotiations and indeed new elections in Palestine? And finally, if this isn't the time to recognise the state of Palestine, then when is? Mr. Speaker, the United Kingdom has a historic responsibility to the people of Palestine and a fundamental obligation to uphold international law. That two-state solution, as promised to the likes of my family, is as elusive as ever. It is time for the government to not just say, but do.
Mr. Speaker, I recognise the passion with which the Honourable Lady speaks and her personal connection to both Jerusalem and the region. I can assure her that the United Kingdom will work with international partners, both bilaterally and through multilateral institutions, to encourage an end to the violence and conflict, which does nobody any good. We all mourn. We all feel the deepest sympathy and condolences for those who have lost children and loved ones, whether they be in Gaza or in Israel. And it is in everybody's interests to de-escalate, and we will work with our regional partners, as I say, as well as the leadership of the Palestinian Authority and Israel to work towards de-escalation. The rocket attacks coming from Gaza cannot be justified, and we call upon them to cease immediately as part of that de-escalation.
No